Dear Mr. White Man, I wish you understood what the world is really like when you're living in the hood. Just because my pants are sagging doesn't mean I'm up to no good. You should try to get to know me. I really wish you would. Now my chains are gold, but I'm still misunderstood. I wasn't there when Sherman's march turned the South into firewood. I want you to get paid, but be a slave, I never could. Feel like a newfangled Django dodging invisible white hoods. So when I see that white cowboy hat, I'm thinking it's not all good. I guess we're both guilty of judging the cover, not the book. I'd love to buy you a beer, conversate and clear the air, but I see that red flag and I think you wish I wasn't here. If you don't judge my do-rag, I won't judge your red flag.
Like not to be, I'm proud of where
if you don't judge my gold chain,
but not everything we've done.
I'll forget the iron chain.
It ain't like
Reef Radio episode 2. Caliph-NOW to the right of me.
Yep.
David Blakk to the left.
Wow.
And I'm stuck in the middle with you. I am Reef the Lost Cause, and this is Reef Radio episode 2. And obviously you heard that song that we started with, and we're just gonna jump right into it. I know by the time this airs, this is probably gonna be old news, but yeah, what the fuck?
That's my favorite song right now.
Is it really?
I think it's the best song ever created.
You push clan beer on us, and then you tell us
it's
that
my favorite
I don't
song,
like where this is going.
I really understand
what is happening with you?
I really understand what they were trying to achieve in that song.
For those who haven't heard it, Brad Paisley, who I've never heard of until this week, I'm sure most of you that aren't in the country feel that way, did a song called Accidental Racist, which I don't know how you do that. I don't know how. That's some shit, you know what I mean? You accidentally crash a car, you accidentally trip over your feet, but you don't accidentally become a racist.
Why black people? Oops.
Whoops. Oh, man. He did a song with one of the greatest MCs of all time, that I'll stand by that.
Yep.
LL, can we
Definitely.
all agree?
Sure.
Second, third.
LL Cool J, I grew up idolizing, one of my heroes, is featured on this song, and it's the most bizarre shit that I may have ever heard in my life. And it was only right that we start off talking about this. Can I get your thoughts, gentlemen?
Just for the record, everything I said previously is the complete opposite of what I think about that song.
Obviously.
I think it might be the worst song ever made. And the funniest thing is seeing them on talk shows trying to defend themselves.
Man. I saw LL on the Tonight Show, and he started talking about Trayvon Martin, and like he said something about like, I can't go into a house with a baseball bat and start smashing shit and say you people need to listen to me. I have to make songs like this so people understand.
Done
Dave,
lost his nigga mind.
What do you think about it, Dave?
Done lost his nigga mind.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna come back from this.
I understand the sentiment, but
you do?
No, I kind of do. Like, I don't know. I like to think I'm the kind of person that looks past what's on the surface and sees what's, beneath the surface, if you will. But with that said, execution is poor, man. Mm-hmm. The execution is poor.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who or what, who was in the studio and said, you know what we need right now? We need LL Cool J on this song. You know what I mean?
It was Trace Atkins, man.
Trace Atkins.
He was like, yo, man. He's like, all right, Brad. I'm gonna tell you this. All right, we need something different for this. We need something that's gonna hit. That's gonna pop. What's that Negro feller, Mr. LL Cool J? What's he doing these days? Yeah, man. I think he'd be great.
Wow, man. Poor LL.
I don't know, man. I'd rather a racist be like, I'm wearing a Confederate flag because I am a racist.
Right.
He starts
off to the man that served me coffee at the Starbucks down on Main.
Yeah, that's where he lost me.
Yeah, because first of all, what country motherfucker is at a Starbucks on Main Street?
Whoa, all right, wait, all right, we don't want any Starbucks beef on the show, man.
What?
Starbucks, yo, we don't
You
want.
like Starbucks?
No, not really, but they're huge, man.
Yeah, they might shut us down.
Yeah, they might shut us down.
I don't know if they're gonna be our sponsor anytime soon, but
that would be pretty fucking.
It would be dope.
Cool. I mean, that's what CD is at Starbucks, though. The Brad Paisley CD.
Is it?
Buy.
I bet it
is. Is it one of those Starbucks?
If it's not, it will be.
How do you get hooked up with that? Because I always wondered, you go in there and it's like some singer-songwriter that no one's ever heard of, and they're in the front of Starbucks.
Maybe now LL Cool J opened the door for you. He's sold at Starbucks.
But it'll hold it just a little bit longer.
No, but yo, man, I don't understand. Like, none of us are from the South, But
that guy's not from the South. He's from like
Brad
West
Paisley?
Virginia.
Oh yeah.
West Virginia's not really the South.
I mean, yeah, it's
is.
like the
well,
it's like
you
the
did say
faux South.
Fredericksburg. Is that Virginia? Fredericksburg.
Maryland.
Maryland. Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
But, yo,
That's the home of the Klan.
From what I was told, that's what.
You
But
bring
listen,
your damn Klan
well,
beer.
we're drinking that beer again. So.
You
I
are
mean, it's
drinking
delicious in all of its racist undertones.
We're listening to accidental racists drinking beer made by the Klan.
We're
For those who
progressive.
missed the first episode, check it out. You'll understand what we're talking about.
So
I just
progressive.
don't get how that flies anymore. Like the Southern Pride shit. Like I'm gonna wear a Confederate flag for Southern Pride. We all know what the Confederate flag stands for. It does it stand for the South? Yeah, but it really stands for we hate black people.
Well, no.
Right?
I mean,
no.
I don't know. I mean,
for that saying that.
I'm gonna have to be the voice of dissension in the room, and I mean, eventually, I'm just gonna get called all kinds of Uncle Toms, like with my
you
tone.
really
these days.
are starting to venture into Uncle
But
Tom.
no.
Like,
I mean, and trust me, I'm kind of with you on that. Like, but the Confederacy is mainly, when they wanted to succeed from the Union, and pull apart. Unfortunately, and very evidently, slavery was the backbone of the Southern economy.
right.
I mean, we actually had this discussion the other day. Robert E. Lee, who LL so vigorously shouts out in the song.
He says, "Rest in peace, Robert E. Lee." But
He
I gotta
does.
thank Abe Lincoln for freeing me.
He
What
does say
the
that.
fuck?
But Robert E. Lee was actually believed to be and thought, and I mean, maybe even you could say known to be against slavery. His whole, being in the war was because he wanted to defend Virginia as a Southern country. Yeah. So I mean, slavery. I mean, I can't even dissuade this is intrinsically wrapped up into the whole Southern Northern. But I mean, even Abe Lincoln. I mean, a lot of people glorify him, and the whole reason he wanted to end slavery is because it was an economic move.
I'm feeling real uncomfortable.
Really?
No, don't.
kidding.
Don't. Have you ever owned slaves?
Yeah, you never owned.
Sex slaves don't
But
count.
tell me this though: do black people rock the Confederate
Oh
flag in the
fuck
South?
no!
No, there was a time.
Exactly,
There was a
that's
time, and some people might remember this. There was a time where there was a clothing company. I forget the name of the clothing company, but they tried to take the Confederate flag and like make it like red, black, and green African colors, and it's
I
like
do
New
remember
South
that.
clothing or something like that. It went away right away.
Yeah,
I would say
But
anybody have
there's-
one of those T-shirts?
There's just certain things like the swastika originally, from my understanding, wasn't a Nazi thing.
It was an Indian, like Indian, not Native American Indian,
Right,
but
right.
Indian.
Not red-
sign
not
of
feather,
actually,
but red
Yeah,
back.
like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe peace and unification.
But the Confederate flag and the swastika are
They're symbols of hate.
They're symbols
you can't
exactly
go
what they
backwards.
mean now.
You can't go backwards
They're
now.
symbols
Yeah,
of hate.
yeah.
They're symbols of hate.
So
I mean,
how
I
the
think
hell do
LL and I honestly you've watched some of these interviews that they talk about it. I think that they really genuinely thought they were doing something that was good. They weren't trying to, disrespect anybody. I don't think, but it just, like you said, execution is everything with a song like that. You have to be very careful when you make something like a statement like that, because people are going to take it the wrong way, and obviously people took it the very wrong way. I just don't understand the end where he says, if you don't judge my do-rag, I won't judge your red flag, or if you don't judge my gold chains, I'll forget about the iron chains. Motherfucker, no one's ever forgetting
Can't
about the
forget.
iron
Yeah.
chains, dog. You know what I'm saying?
But their whole defense was we're opening up discussion to
Right.
the world
Right.
about slavery. But you're
Right.
saying in the song,
Do you
let's
feel it's
forget
opened
about
up
it.
discussion? Do you feel it? I mean, we're talking about it, obviously, but
The
we're
only
talking about how horrible the song is.
The only discussion I think
yeah,
it's opened
it's-
up is how it's the worst song ever created.
I love my white brother Todd, and I always have, and that's already accomplished. But this song
you.
is just fucking trash.
It's
very
pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad.
So maybe the races will unify around how horrible this song is.
Did you get your tickets for the tour? They're touring together.
Are they
Really?
really?
No, I don't know.
Oh my
I
god,
just
yo,
made
that would be
that up.
fun.
Are they printing it on toilet paper?
LL the other day I saw a news clip where he said sometimes I'll wear a skull and crossbones, but I'm not a pirate.
Oh God!
And he was so serious about
He
it,
was.
you know?
And, the dude was looking at him like,
Yo, you
"What
saw
are
his
you
face?
doing?"
Yeah, he got upset, man.
So the bigger
Oh,
question is:
Brad
has
Paisley.
LL gone Bill Cosby? Has he?
I
has
heard,
he?
has
he lost his mind?
If they did a whole album together, do you think it would sell? I think so at this point.
Well, LL has an album coming out right
Brad
after
Paisley?
this. Well, Brad Paisley's on the record.
That's
he
how I
was,
guess they got connected.
Right. LL's on this record, and Brad Paisley returned the favor, I guess. But now,
Brad Paisley,
I never heard of him before.
never heard of you.
That was Never Heard of You with Todd. Give yourself a round of applause for that one. Yeah.
Definitely hit that clap.
It's brought to you by the plastic things on shoelaces. Without them, you couldn't
Yeah,
Your
where do you get
shoelaces
those
would be
things for?
fucked up.
Imagine being the guy that makes those.
Dude, you're rich as shit.
I would have pride in my job. Man.
Yeah.
We should do some research. I should do some research and find out that guy's name.
Yeah.
He is our sponsor for this shit.
Well, we're gonna keep on the theme of racist shit that has been going on around the world. I don't know what was going on this week, but aside from the LL controversy, which obviously it's gonna be gone. I would think fairly soon. There's so much stuff going on in the world that something like this is funny for a minute, and then people forget about it. But another thing that happened this week, Essence magazine, which my mom and aunts and stuff used to read. It'd be like, for those who don't know, it's a black woman's magazine, the upwardly mobile black woman, not you ratchet bitches. It's like, chicks that have like jobs and like go to the hair salon and like, use fucking cocoa butter made in like the Mayans and shit. Essence magazine has always been, definitely pro-black, I guess you would say. But they printed a letter this week from a reader who needed help or advice with a situation that's kind of particular to this accidental racist thing. And I would like to read it now, and I definitely just want you guys' thoughts. We'll discuss this as well. And then we'll get off the topic of race because obviously, that's not what this show is about, but these are things that have happened that we definitely are confused about.
It's just too good and funny.
It
and
is.
terrible.
It is. Racism is the funniest shit.
Off.
Nah, racism is the funniest shit ever, man. When
I would almost
see an old racist person, I laugh all day because they're not gonna offend me.
Yeah, it's a generational thing. I would almost respect somebody who was our age who was like, "Yo, look, I'm sorry, but I cannot be friends with you because you are a fucking nigga." No offense or offense. I don't know however you want to take it, but that's just how I roll.
Man.
I would
Oh,
almost
God.
respect it. I mean, it's really a generational thing. I think our generation, there are very few people who would consider themselves racist. You know what I mean? We're too intermediate.
I grew up. A part of my life I spent in State College, Pennsylvania, Penn State University.
Oh, that's a whole nother topic.
It was 4 hours from the city. We're out in the sticks. Across the street from me was a cornfield. That's how out in the country we were. But a lot of those kids, man. But like you said, it was taught. It's taught. You can't. Even when I take my son to the park, I'll see little kids that just want to play and run around with him. But you'll see, parents kind of looking a little funny, and I look back at them like, say something and I'll fucking kill you. But you can sense that they're not comfortable with their little kid playing with the little black kid. But hey, you know what I mean?
And with that said, I mean, your son is the product of interracial love.
He is.
Look,
And an emphasis on the love.
Yeah,
Emphasis on the love.
He's
I
beautiful.
don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to, because why not?
Oh,
Go
don't
ahead.
drop
This is our
an
talk
N-bomb.
radio
come
show.
on, dude.
When I was in like preschool.
Yeah.
Now, look, I'm a white kid from the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember the first time that I met a black kid.
Yeah. It's a
And
big deal. It's a big deal.
I was so fascinated with this kid.
Did you touch his hair?
I touched his hair.
Oh, shit, man.
in preschool. I thought
Oh
this
my
kid was
God.
so cool because I never. I mean, this is before
we're kind of a big deal.
was exposed to any kids in general. There was just the
Right.
kids in a couple kids in my neighborhood.
Right.
But I'm talking about when I was in preschool. So what's that? 4? I don't know,
4? Yeah,
4 years
4,
old or
3,
something like
4,
that.
yeah.
I thought this kid was cool as shit.
Do you remember his
I'm
name?
like, I can't remember.
Yeah,
Devon.
Devon.
There you
Damn,
go.
he
Made
was
a
black
cool
as
name.
shit, right?
Devon.
Yeah. Did he like moonwalk? Did he like break
No,
dance up?
no,
to you?
but he had such a great attitude. He was like,
Word,
"Yeah, man,
word.
I'm Devon, dude." What's up?" And I thought the kid was so
The
cool.
name says it all.
And I made a point. I can remember this. I made a point. I was like, I need to be friends with this kid, man.
Right.
This kid's cool.
Right.
It was cool.
Right. Well, I mean, it's there's people that like yourself. No. There's people like yourself and friends that we, people in our clique, we've known each other, over a decade. You know what I'm saying? Well, me and you've known each other for life. We're family. But, like Todd, like we've been friends for over 10 years, and you never get the sense or it's not even something that comes up or like. I've never gotten a racist vibe from any of my friends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's definitely been times where other people that might have been around, they may have made me feel that way, but people that I love and care about, man, like that shit doesn't even come up. So I don't know. For this song to come out now, I don't know. But let's stay on topic. And I'm gonna read this letter that I was talking about, and I really want you guys' thoughts on this. I don't know if Todd has heard this yet.
I haven't.
Okay, all right. This was a letter sent in by a black woman to Essence magazine. Okay, about her.
Essence.
Yeah, Essence. Yeah, definitely check out Essence if you're in the Indie IRE and shit like that. Yeah, man. I mean, all I remember it for is like I used to beat off to some of the, they would have.
Was
like,
it the Essence Beauty of the Week?
Beauty? No, that's Jet.
Okay, Jet.
Jet
Okay,
Beauty of the Week.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I used to beat
Jet
off the
Beauty
Jet
of the
then.
Week.
There you go.
What I was always fascinated about the Jet Beauty of the Week was the photographer. It was always like some nigga named like Lathorin Clarence III, and I was like, he's got these women like just hanging out naked. Shout out Lathorin, wherever he is. All right. The woman giving the advice is named Ebola, first of all. So, Dear Ebola, my man keeps calling me a nigger bitch during sex.
Pause.
Hey, racism is funny, guys. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you can't laugh at that statement, Jesus, I'm gonna read this. My man keeps calling me a nigger bitch during sex, and I hate it. Come on, let me get through this. I've been married for a year and am at my wit's end. My investment banker husband is from white old money family. I'm first generation black American woman whose family is from the island of Jamaica. We met at a reunion for the Ivy League school we both attended, and he proposed to me within 6 months. We have the picture perfect fantasy life. He wines and dines me and we travel and shop the globe. Unlike all of the black men I've dated in the past, my husband is generous, loyal, committed, and considerate. He courted me and I never have to pay for anything. He said I could quit my job and I did. He makes me feel like a real woman. I'm a little embarrassed to share our problem. The first time he let out the N-word drop was during sex on our honeymoon. Let me just stop for a second.
I think we've heard it. I don't know. I think that sums it up right there.
No, it gets worse. When I reacted negatively, he explained that a black woman he dated in the past really enjoyed being called racial slurs. Another time, he joked that he probably purchased my freedom. He also speculated about whether his family could have owned mine because I have good hair. Then he made jokes about my pubic hair. He called it my Negro bush and referred to himself as a nigger lover.
All right, this isn't accidental racism.
Oh my
He says I am being overly sensitive because he loves me to death and should get a black pass for marrying me. I told him I don't appreciate these comments, and he says that my friends and family probably use the N-word all the time. He asked why black people can use it and he can't. I don't use the word or believe in the nigger differentiation. Neither does my family. I'm too embarrassed to tell anyone about this because I know what they say. That's what you get for marrying a white woman, white man.
Shit.
Every time we try to have sex again, the slurs just fly. Our sex life is pretty much over right now because I pretend to be asleep every time he wants to be with me. I'm completely turned off. I love my husband deeply, so please tell me what I need to do because I don't want to leave him. My husband was my first interracial relationship. Please tell me racial slurs aren't normal between interracial couples. I'd like to figure this out before we have kids, but I can't afford to leave him and still maintain my lifestyle. Signed Black and Proud. This bitch signed it Black and Proud.
Wow.
How proud are you to let that go down? Todd, as someone that...
Proud of his money.
We're going to get off this topic because Todd's starting to turn red.
Beat red.
Yeah.
You might have to change races, dude.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. First of
Are you
all, a lot of
kidding
people
me?
think this is a fake. I wouldn't be surprised if some asshole college kid was drunk and high and decided to fucking ask.
Well, I'm sure that magazine contacts these people and screens it.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
That is ridiculous, dude.
Now,
How the hell does she love a guy like that does that?
have any of you ever done anything like that? Role play, where a woman you've had some sexual chocolate in your life, right, Todd?
I have.
Didn't we talk about this last week? No.
No, I don't think so.
Have you?
I was Myrtle Beach.
Nice.
It
Damn.
was in Myrtle Beach.
Was she above 60?
We were at the most glorious gentleman's club. Can't even call it a strip club. It was called Masters. Shout out to Masters. When I was there the first time, my friend went to school down there.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
South Carolina. My friend went to school
Love it
down there. And the first time I went there, James Brown's band was in there. This place had leather swivel chairs. It was legit.
Yeah, cigars.
Yeah,
it was the 100-year-old
greatest.
brandy.
And I went down there for my birthday one summer. I stayed there for 3 weeks. It was great. And when we got there, we're like, let's go to Masters for happy hour. So we went there for happy hour, but that ended up being our whole night basically because the girls that were working happy hour were hanging out with us the whole time because it was my birthday and the same girl, her name was Ashley.
Not Ashley.
Not Ashley.
Ashley.
It was her birthday.
That's some black people shit for you right there.
And the greatest thing about it was we didn't really have to tip them or give them money because they were just having fun. They were bored. It was happy hour and they were hanging out with us.
Right.
And then they invited us to this is Wednesday. They said, Friday, do you guys want to come to our birthday party? It's a pool party.
This is a whole crew of black strippers.
black, Hispanic. It was like a whole mix.
Whole
of, like,
crew of strippers invited you to their birthday
beautiful
pool
girls.
party.
And they were like,
how old were you?
They were prime time chicks, like 22 maybe.
Strippers
you
always
And the
crave
greatest
real
thing,
attention.
There was a whole day before Friday. And the whole day we're just like, we're going to a stripper pool party. There's gonna be crazy shit going on, and it was awesome.
Right, and that's where you had your first.
But I would never dare to say any of that shit to her.
Well, what if it's the reverse? What if it was a black chick, and she was like, you were with her and you were doing stuff, and she was like, yeah, you like that, you honky motherfucker. What would you feel? Would you stop?
I don't know. No, of course not. I wouldn't stop.
Your dick would get harder, right?
No, I wouldn't
Yeah.
stop.
What about you? What would you?
But I
Would you
feel
in that
really
situation?
strange.
If I was in the
Are you in a situation?
if I was a white guy and
no, if you were you.
Oh, and
if you
a
were
white
you-
chick said, "Give me that nigger cock."
Right.
I'd blast everywhere. I'd fucking. Oh my god. I'd
fucking sicko.
I'd
I'm
bust
a
everywhere.
spit take.
Because I mean, my
my
dick's in there.
God.
Clearly, she's not racist.
Right.
No.
Right,
But no,
right.
seriously, no. I don't know. I mean, there's a difference between and granted, I'm not saying that this dude isn't a fucking idiot racist asshole. I mean, I don't. It teeters the line.
That
because
shit just feels.
No,
But
that's
it's just that's what I mean.
100%
If you're with someone and they tell you they're uncomfortable by this, then
you're supposed to stop right away.
yeah, that's
supposed to stop.
It's the equivalent of I would say verbal rape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I
absolutely.
mean, if I'm banging a chick and I'm like, yo, say you want my nigger cock. There's a lot.
You've
that's
rehearsed
different.
this, huh? Because you.
I mean, well, yeah, my fiance wasn't having that shit. I mean,
Yeah, you
she's
tried
like,
it
I won't
bef-
say that.
you
I
tried it
won't say
before?
that. No, I mean, I haven't tried it, but
You've thought about it, huh?
I thought about it, but no,
Yeah.
I don't.
I actually
know.
saw.
I'm just a sick fuck.
It was an indie movie that came out in the early '00s. I forget if it might be called An Education, but there was a girl that liked that. Her teacher, no, the guy liked that. It was a black dude that was banging like one of his white students, and he liked for her to. Some people are sick like that, man. Some people I can attest that we probably all been with females that at some at certain points in our life that like to kind of be degraded.
Buck Wild style.
You know what I mean? Or like talk to,
Oh, yeah.
told that they're, you know what I mean?
Bad girl.
Hey, look.
Hey,
Dirty
one
bitch.
time, I dated a girl.
I had a girl once ask me to tell her that she was disgusting. Like literally
you
say
do
that.
that?
You fucking
Yeah.
right, I did.
I dated a girl.
Wait.
I said that shit
How
with
did she
authority.
pose this? Did she say I'm disgusting?
Literally, that just like you said that we were.
I would
we
have
were in
pulled
the
my
act.
dick out and just withdrawn from the battlefield immediately.
She wanted to be
Or-
degraded. Yo, look, like
I don't know.
you have to understand. Sadly, there's like a majority of women are either been sexually assaulted or the things that they're fighting through or working through when you're having sex with them, and sometimes that involves being told or treated. I had a girl that I was with.
She probably cried
when I was
afterwards.
younger. You know what I'm saying? I had a girl I was with that was younger that was raped before, and she tried very hard to dominate our sex by being in control of what would happen to her. So she would say, I want you to choke me, or I want you to slap me, I want you to do these things, and it's fucked up. But it was her way of working through whatever happened to her. Brother Ali has a song about it. It's really dope. Really dope song.
Did you choke her?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of man, look, choking is like that's so.
Shout out to
normal
choke
part of
fucking.
sex.
Tell me this.
What?
So I dated a girl that liked the taste of blood.
All right, see.
You ever experienced
See,
that?
no, see that would get, I would have to fucking.
Tell me more.
I'd have to
I
run out the
oblige.
room. With
Tell
that
me
shit.
more.
I was like, oh, you like the taste of blood? Okay.
You punched her in the mouth. She asked him for a ring, so he put one around her eye.
All right, look.
All right, so
I think we just
Man,
we
this is
kind
getting-
of somehow we wound up on the subject of sex.
We're telling
I
more
don't know
about
how that
ourselves than we
happened.
should.
Bunch of men sitting around drinking. I
Yeah.
guess we somehow ended up on.
This is great.
Yeah, but we had a good leeway
We're so professional.
into it.
We're
so
going into the
professional.
first, like we said before, the first episode. For those who don't know, check us out, SoundCloud.com, Reef Radio, David Blakk, Caliph-NOW. We have a theme every week. This week's theme is songs that are played in the bedroom that get you out of the mood, that fuck up the mood,
Songs
right?
that fuck up the mood.
And
For whatever reason.
For whatever reason, we're gonna play them and then explain, because some of the songs you might think, well, this would make me want to have sex, but no. So the first song is from my boy David Blakk. What song is that, brother?
Color Me Bad, I Want to Sex You Up.
The ugliest R&B group to ever. Oh my God, man.
Too many voices and too many different tones of it.
Falsetto, yeah.
I think it's a good song, though.
I mean, it's a good song.
It's a good song, but I can
can't fuck
see
to
where
it.
that would make me giggle. Let's play it.
play
And we'll come back.
All right.
Reef Radio, episode 2, Caliph-NOW, David Blakk, Reef, The Lost Cause. Let's go.
Yeah.
Tick tock, you don't stop. Stop to the 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 tick tock.
Come inside, take off your coat, I'll make you feel at home. Now let's pour a glass of wine, 'cause now we're all alone. I've been waiting all night, so just let me hold you close to me. 'Cause I've been dying for you, girl, to make love to me. Girl, you make me feel real good. We can do it till we both wake up. Girl, you know I'm hooked on you. And this is what I'll do. I wanna sex you up all night. I want to. I wanna sex you up. Let me take off all your clothes. Disconnect the phone so nobody knows. Yeah. Let me light a candle so we can make it better. Making love until we drown. Dig. Girl, you know it feels real good. We can do it till we both wake up. Girl, you know I'm hooked on you. And this is what I'll do. Yeah. I wanna sex you up. Make it love until we drown. I wanna sex you up. Just make me feel so good. I just wanna look at you. Don't say anything at all. Just lay back, enjoy the ride. Yeah. All I wanna do is I wanna sex you up all night. Make me feel I want me right too. I wanna sex you up. Makes me love it all night long. I wanna sex you up. Feels so right, it can't be wrong. Don't be shy, girl, get with me. I wanna sex you up. Open up your heart and I'll set you free. Oh, I wanna touch you in all the right places, baby. I wanna make love to you. All night, yeah. Makes me loving all night long.
Reef Radio, episode 2. David Blakk, Caliph-NOW, Reef the Lost Cause. It is a beautiful Sunday in Philadelphia, and we just listened to Color Me Bad, I Wanna Sex You Up, a song that David Blakk feels would ruin the mood during sex. Why would I want to sex you up?
Well, I would hope that you wouldn't want to sex me up, Reef. There are so many things wrong with that.
Look, man,
no.
just let me be who I am.
No, but seriously, I don't know. This it seems more. I mean, it's a good dance song, and I like the song.
Right.
But I just feel like, you know, if I was in, you know, a woman's bedroom and she was like, I'm gonna put on something sexy, and she put this song on, I would kind of like expect her to come out in like a clown bow tie and shoes or whatever. I mean, it's more for the entertainment value. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a fucking sick fuck. Anything will fucking do it for me. But I don't know. I think I'd be more like, I think I'd probably like just hop out of bed and start singing the song and dancing and shit like that. And you know what I mean? It just.
What are those guys doing now?
Well, the lead singer, man, he was in one of the VH1 behind the, not behind the music, but
What
where
Happened to
are
You
they
Now or
now,
something?
right? One hit wonders or whatever. And the lead singer guy, he's like 600 pounds. and he runs like a tire factory, you know.
No one wants to sex him up, needless to say.
I mean,
He
but
listens to that song every Sunday afternoon.
they were so
Just to get 'em going
man,
again.
they were the ugliest dudes, man, and they had no rhythm. But I mean, they had their moment in the sun. You know, shout out to Color Me Bad. I don't know if there'll ever be another group that will be as weird as those guys. You know, they were like an old boy band that you know what I mean. Like they were like in their 40s, like dancing around. I personally like their other song better, the All for Love. Remember that? No.
I cricket you.
You did just cricket me.
You got cricketed.
Cricketed?
I cricketed.
Cricketed.
You got cricketed.
You cricketed me.
Cricketed right,
oh
proper,
my
sir.
God, man.
Oh, man.
So Dave has to leave soon. Dave, you got to get ready to go to work.
Yeah, I gotta fucking pay bills and shit.
I hear you,
okay.
man. That's so, yeah.
Yeah, on
gotta,
Sunday, you should.
Yeah, I mean, I got Fridays off. That's the exchange.
Okay.
So
Right.
I get a head start on the weekend, as it were.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm here for a couple more minutes. Let's just make the best of it.
Yeah, let's make the best of it.
Let's not bring up sad things.
Yeah.
I know. I don't want you to go.
I hope
You know what mean?
everyone is enjoying the podcast. We're
We
having
don't
a
really
great
care
time.
if you aren't.
Yeah, we don't
no, we
care.
do. We do.
Yeah, we do
We
care.
really do.
We're having a
Feedback
great
for the
time.
first episode was great, so we really appreciate you guys
Thank
listening.
you for
Thanks,
listening.
guys.
We have no
definitely.
idea what we're doing. We're just sitting around talking.
So I guess we got a few more questions this time around.
Yeah, yo, people, listen. If you're listening, if you enjoy what you're hearing, send your questions in. reefradioshow@gmail.com. You can tweet me at Lost Cause. You can tweet David at David Blakk, BLAKK. You can
Twit?
the Twitter,
The Twitter.
as Todd calls it,
You can
on the Twitter.
Twitter me at Caliph-NOW. I don't know how many people,
What is your beef with social media? Why aren't you?
I don't know. I'm just not good at it.
What do you mean you're not good at it? It's just your thought. You're an articulate, intelligent guy.
No, I don't not know how to use it. Is that the right? Yeah. But I
Right tense,
I just my mind doesn't say like I'm gonna Twitter this.
Yeah.
Twitter this?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
is that the lingo?
I'll take that.
I mean, it's for me. It's to the point where I'm like,
My only tweets are Instagram pictures
Right.
because it has that option.
Wait.
put it on Twitter.
So you can't get down with Twitter, but you can Instagram?
Well, Instagram I take pictures on. I like
What are you, a
pictures.
13-year-old girl?
Yeah.
Instagram is really it's
Yeah.
taking over, man. You know what I mean?
I like pictures and I post them.
It's people don't really know how to
I
articulate.
don't know. What do you?
themselves so
I don't
much.
know. Like I get intimidated by like the @ and like the hashtag, and like I don't know how to read them.
You get intimidated.
Yeah, I don't know how to
by it?
read them because every time I
Punctuation
read a
and-
Twitter by somebody,
Yeah.
it's just like
You
a
sound like
bunch
my
of
mom.
jargon. It's
Yeah.
like @ this and hashtag this, and then it's like a little tiny statement.
It's so
I
bad
don't
for
know.
me, man. I actually think of tweets in my head like
Reef's
that would make
always
that would make a
you're
good tweet.
consistently on your phone. I always
Yeah.
had the idea. I don't know if it was my idea or I heard someone have this idea of making a T-shirt of you on your phone while you're on your phone.
Why do you need a
There's a
T-shirt?
picture-
That's just real life.
No, there's him wearing a
Yeah,
T-shirt
yeah.
with a picture of him on his phone on the T-shirt. Because when you look at Reef,
Oh, man.
he's on his phone on
Yeah.
the picture on this shirt,
then I'll be on
his
my
yeah.
phone.
It's like the barbershop mirror effect.
It's a bad. I don't know. It's so funny too because I was the last of my friends that have a cell phone. Like I held out forever and now I can't. It's a very addicting thing. It's ruined relationships and friendships because I enjoy my. It's just so much going on in here. You know, there's. I actually made a song about it. You'll hear it soon. But all right, so let's get some questions going. You know what I mean? We got some questions. Like I said, if you guys have questions for the next episode, reefradioshow@gmail.com. At Lost Cause, at David Blakk, at Caliph-NOW, or at Reef Radio Show on Twitter.
it's
Or
on
is it just
Twitter.
Reef Radio?
No, it's Reef Radio
Just
Show
Reef
on
Radio.
Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Dave, what we got?
All right, we got a question from Kaz Connery here, and I'm going to read it. It goes, yo, DJ Catastrophe here. Show is ill. Good luck, man.
Thanks, man.
Good discussion, yo. Question, do you guys think hip-hop fans have grew tired of hearing sampling?
Me personally,
Wow.
I
good question.
will never grow tired of it. But I'm of a different generation. I like to hear dirty samples and that filthy popping, that air, like the dust and the grime of it all. But I think the younger generation definitely enjoys more of the keyboard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's terrible. You don't.
Oh, man.
You don't want me to. I'll
No, talk about
I'll
it.
We
for-
do want you to
I'll
talk
talk for an hour about this.
All right, well,
we can
Hip-hop-
talk for an hour about it.
Listen, hip hop in general the whole birth of hip hop was DJs looping drum samples and MCs rhyming over them. That is the epitome of hip hop. It should be samples. It should have always been samples. Do I not? I appreciate non-sampled hip hop music as well because it is not easy to actually play things out on instruments.
Definitely that.
But hip hop should be fucking samples, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's I don't care
Dave,
if I
you're a
sound
DJ
old or
as well.
not. But
What do you think?
that is hip hop
I mean,
music, man.
I love it, and I mean, depending on the sample, I mean, you got me. I'll go to. You guys heard the Haji Beats EP?
Yeah, with
Where he's like, "So it's all in a dream." Like that was an ill sample.
Right.
And not only that, but what was the other one? Billy Blue Band or whatever.
Yeah.
If I get it, you won't get none. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the sample. You know
The
what I mean?
whole-
Like how deep you dig in the crates
All that
to
stuff.
find that sample and just
On top of it too, it's that mentality of I'm like it's kind of breaking laws. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole part of it too. Like I'm sampling shit, but
Right.
I don't know.
I
I'm samples 100% all the way.
one of the reasons it might have not faded out, but one of the reasons why it's not as prevalent as it was. Prevalent's a word, right? Did I say that?
prevalent. But we got
yes.
you.
Oh, I'm fancy. Look at that 100-word score. I think the reason it's not as prevalent is because there's no money in music really anymore. So a lot of times, what would happen was unless you were a big, huge platinum selling artist, they wouldn't come after you for that. But they're coming after people now that are on our level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're coming after people that are selling a couple thousand records.
I mean, like you said
for
last
sample.
week, the music industry's hurting.
They're hurting.
And,
So
I mean,
people are, there are people that literally their job is to scour everything that comes out looking for their clients illegally sampled so they can sue
There's
them.
sample police and all that
Right,
stuff.
right. But some of those keyboard beats, man, it depends on, how it sounds, the drums and everything else. But even like, I like people that are able to use both. One of the biggest songs last year was Mercy, Kanye and them. That beat there's keyboard elements to it, but that
Fuzzy Jones,
Lamborghini
man.
Mercy, that's a sample. Then that
Killed it.
reggae guy,
Fuzzy Jones.
that's his name.
Fuzzy Jones, yeah.
Yeah, that part's cool. I mean, I would never listen to that just because for the simple fact that, I'm not really big into reggae or dancehall. I wish you could see David's face right now.
I mean, yeah, dancehall is the truth, especially like that early 90s dancehall, I mean, if you're dancing or you're at a party and, reggae comes on, dancehall in
It
particular.
just sounds so funny to me. Like, what do you know how to do their accent?
Yeah,
What do
the
they say?
patois.
What is
Yeah, I
it?
see me talk them yard mouth them patois. Yeah, it's
It just
broken
sounds
English
so
them.
funny.
You see me talk like this, yeah, people listen a little more, see?
A little
More,
I don't know.
Reef's like, nah, but still,
I like to understand what I'm listening to. There's songs that I was like dancehall songs that you think are cool, and it's like they're talking about how they hate gay people.
Yeah, see, and that's a
I thought Bati Boy was like a cool guy.
No, it's kind of more ominous than that.
I'm like, yeah, I'm a Bati Boy.
Bati, man, your bati is your butt. Yeah, I mean, a bati is your butt, and a bati boy is them boy that be, Tomb Raider them.
Nah, I do
But
that.
I mean, yeah, and that's
I
a
do
big
like
problem.
when you talk like that, though. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that you know how to talk like that. You know what I mean? But
But
what
like all music has
I
its
will say,
problems.
dancehall reggae when a girl's dancing to it, it's
that's the root of what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I mean,
they go a little
reggae makes
crazy.
them people dance them.
That's true, and it is one of the origins of hip hop. So I won't hate on it too bad, but I can't get into it. You into it like that, dancehall and all that?
I don't like dancehall too much. I like original dancehall, like
Original.
old dancehall, like 70s. I don't know. I guess dancehall came about in the
I think
late
dancehall was like a
70s.
late '80s kind of thing.
Something like
in
that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
But yeah. All the originals are great. Newer stuff, I'd rather not listen to.
Right.
It's annoying, kind of.
Yeah, but we veered off topic. We were talking about sampling in hip hop. So and you
Sampling?
you feel like it's necessary,
It's very necessary, I think. I don't know. I just think that's the definition of hip hop music.
right?
When you don't sample, it's still impressive and it's still difficult.
Right.
You have to be a great musician and songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another type of music. That's music in another genre.
Right.
It's another type of music.
Right.
Hip hop music is samples, loops, and rhymes. That's it. It's period. It's the whole the whole idea of you're stealing other music, kind of not stealing. I don't know.
So then we can't really say anything
It's
then
edgy,
when
man.
people
It's
steal
like-
our shit, right? Like I find it ironic when artists are like, "Oh, they stole my shit," but
I
it's
think
like
it's
if
more
your
of an honor.
album is full of samples that you stole, how can you really, you know what I mean?
But I mean, at the same point, if somebody took a loop of a clip of a song you did and sampled it, I mean, you would kind of take that as a bit of flattery.
Yeah,
in some way, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. There's one or two songs where I've heard like, a line or someone scratch my voice into something, and I thought it was really cool. Obviously, I'm not on the level of someone that is making so much money that it wouldn't bother me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. But like, in this day and age, intellectual property is a joke. Everything's on the computer for free. You know what I'm saying? Like
The best hip hop music had samples.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff that we all love. Is it going away?
right.
Maybe, which is a shame.
It's not going away. It's not getting cleared for radio or videos anymore like
No.
that. I feel like with the South taking over, because the South did kind of take over with hip hop.
Yeah, you understand, definitely.
That trap music, those synths and that keyboard sound, it's so prevalent now. Yeah, every beat kind of sounds the same. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean we're older guys, and sampling will always be a part of the hip hop that we know. So, but
All right. So
yeah, next question.
Yeah, next question.
Next
What we got?
question we have here, drum roll.
Do we have a drum roll sound effect?
I have no drum roll.
We
sound
will
effect.
next episode. I guarantee that.
You got
That's the
You
dolphin.
got a dolphin though.
That's the
Who needs
dolphin.
a drum
I
roll?
kinda-
You got
yeah.
a dolphin.
Next time I want to like the
All right,
dolphin.
find that dolphin.
Oh, I got that dolphin. Don't worry.
No doubt.
Next question. Jordan Bradford writes,
What up, Jordan?
"What up? What techniques would you suggest to underground/local artists for distributing their music and making a profit with bootlegging being a large issue?" And second question, in your opinion, was the top still spinning at the end of the movie Inception? Two-part question we got there, guys. What do you think?
Well, I'll let you guys handle the second part because I never saw Inception. It was too much going on for me. My mind can't handle all that, So what?
Okay, it was
did you-
deep. It was deep.
It was deep.
Deep. It was
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the first part of that question again?
What techniques would you suggest
Oh, okay,
underground/local art for distributing their music? With
I
bootlegging?
can talk about that. I don't like I said
Okay.
Inception. You know what I mean? Like I watched like 15 minutes of The Matrix and all that. I can't deal with the mindfuck movies. I don't know what's going on in my mind.
Truly a mindfuck movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reef, as an artist yourself, what do you
Well, for me, I think the main thing that artists need to do now is you need to build a buzz around yourself before you can even start to think about trying to make money off of it. I think that's the main thing that a lot of artists mess up is that they come right in thinking they're going to make a whole bunch of money. I think you need to kind of focus on just getting your name out there. So you have artists now that are, double platinum that give out free music. So I think if you are able to, an album now is put out as an event to drag more people to your shows, to drag people to your website, to check you out and to
like a business
buy
card.
merch. Yeah, it's a business card now. It really is. People don't buy records. You can get it for free. So I think that is where people mess up right away is they worry about making money right away. You're not going to make money right away. You kind of need to establish yourself as an artist that is known for putting on great shows, an artist that's known for putting out great music, and then in time, if you build enough buzz and enough of a fan base, then you can kind of worry about the money part. I think you need to not worry about that right away. So that would be my advice or answer to that question is, if you're at a point where people are actually buying your stuff, bootlegging isn't really going to affect you too much, but you can't come right into the game thinking that that's going to be an important factor. It's not. So
Yeah, distributing, do it yourself. As an artist, you be confident. There's so many internet angles to go by. You could put it out digitally. Make some physical copies yourself, and just try to get it out there as much as possible. You have YouTube, you have SoundCloud, you have any kind of other websites that put your own music out, and then just try to create buzzes and try to do as many shows as you can. I always tell young artists that I work with, go to as many events as you can and meet as many people as you can.
Network.
Because, that's how I start to meet people, and then you have conversations with them. And if you're actually performing at these shows, they see you. And if you're good, you get to work with these people. And if you're not, you can rethink if you want to do this or not. So
Yeah, it's very important. Like nowadays, with everything, the way everything is, it's you have so many options and outlets that a lot of us did not have when we first started to get your music out there and get yourself heard. So you need to take advantage of those. Like, I hate to say it, but money should be the last thing on your mind, and selling records should be the last thing on your mind. What should be first on your mind is getting enough attention to where people want to be involved with you and want to come to your shows and want to buy your product. It takes a while now. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Final question. And this is from
we got J Zone coming up.
Yeah,
after
we
this
got
segment,
J-Zone.
so we're excited.
It's gonna be so awesome.
Legend.
One of my idols. I love this guy. His music, his new book, Root for the Villain, is incredible. So he'll be coming up next. Last question is from my man E Life, aka King David. What up, E? Question: did you see the Fix Your Life special with DMX, and what are your thoughts on it and your views on drug abuse in hip hop? I did not see the special. I saw clips of it. DMX is a tortured soul, and because of his tortured soul, we get to hear some of the best music that could possibly ever be made.
Here.
His first few albums are soundtracks to a lot of people's lives. I know it's dark and hell. It's dark and hell is hot. Is one of my favorite albums of all time. I think that drug abuse in hip hop is the same as drug abuse in rock, is the same as in comedy. These people are tortured, man, and they give themselves to us. They give their art, whether it be comedy, guys like John Belushi or Chris Farley. These were guys that were all messed up, but they were able to take that pain and create beautiful art with it. Same with Jimi Hendrix or Amy Winehouse.
Richard Pryor.
DMX is no different than that. So it's sad that, so many people in the entertainment industry are messed up, but that creates some really beautiful art. Some of my lowest points in life spawned really great music, and I think for DMX, it's, if you know his life story, he was pretty much abandoned as a child by his mother, moved in and out of group homes. He never really had anyone that had his back, so I definitely think that DMX is a product of his upbringing, his environment, and for a lot of people, drugs and alcohol mask that, and they're able to escape through that. So for me, it's really sad. I hope he gets himself together, but at the same time, I understand that that tortured soul, tortured artist thing is very real. So that's my take on that.
And it's a different time too we're living in, where nowadays, every arrest, every incident is publicized, way more than it was. It's not like, oh, did you hear, blah blah. It's like, nah, you see that, ... Everything is just out there for everybody to see. So I think that right there is, my single and most prevalent reason for why things are so different.
Yeah, everyone's life is under such a microscope now. You know what I mean? So him being on rappers growing up, I don't think most rappers I know would have been on a TV show trying to, for those who don't know, it's Fix Your Life. It's Ayanna Van Zant, who is a black guru type lady. She's really weird looking, but she has these specials where she has people come on and she fixes their life, quote unquote. I don't know how
already
you do
aired.
It already aired.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube.
DMX.
Yeah, it's DMX, and she basically tells him to get the hell away from her because he flips out on her. And he's like, "Bitch, arf, arf, arf." And
Is it awkward?
Good old
is
D.
very
Is it like the
awkward.
Michael Jackson interview?
It's worse because she's trying to help DMX change his life or whatever, and he's just not for it. You know what I mean? He, some of those addictions, man, like I said, it's messed up, but it creates beautiful art. So, some of the all-time greats, Van Gogh and all them, they were messed up, man, and their pain equaled art for us. So you have to, know that it's going to be a trade-off, whether or not, DMX might get sober tomorrow, and then the music he make might fucking suck. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it, but it's a part of the game. So,
All right. Cool.
All right.
yeah.
All right, that's been questions, I guess.
Yeah, that's questions.
Thanks
like
for
I
a good
said,
round,
guys,
guys.
anything you guys want to talk to us or ask us, Reef Radio Show at Gmail, Reef Radio Show on Twitter, or at David Blakk at Lost Cause.
And we will
or at
answer your
Caliph-NOW.
questions.
We will
Even if
answer.
you need advice. If you need advice,
whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll help you get your love life together.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. So we'll get into another song.
Yes.
For our theme.
Yes. Back to the
I
theme of
think
songs
we'll go Reef's.
that.
We'll go Reef's
Yeah,
choice.
Let's go. This is
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
We're gonna get into this song. This is Dead Prez, Mind Sex, and this is songs that would ruin the mood. And I guess I'll explain why after the song. We're doing now. Okay.
Explain
All right.
after.
So Dead Prez, Mind Sex. This is my ridiculous sex song that I just don't want to hear when I'm trying to, get into that zone. So,
All right.
Reef Radio episode volume 2. No, Reef Radio episode 2. I get confused with the
Yeah, I don't know.
episode and volume.
Same thing.
I like
I think they'll
episode. It
forget.
sounds
Episode
mad
2.
Star
Yeah,
Wars-y.
Star Wars.
Epic.
Epic episode 2. David Blakk, Caliph-NOW, Reef for Lost Cause.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come over here. It's time for some mindsets. We ain't got to take our clothes off yet. We could burn an incense and just chat, relax. I got the good vibrations. Before we make love, let's have a good conversation. Pardon me, love, but you seem like my type. What you doing tonight? You should stop by the site. We could roll some, play some records and talk. I got a fly spot downtown Brooklyn, New York. Now I know you think I wanna, no doubt, but tonight we try a different route. How about we start with a salad, a fresh bed of lettuce with croutons. Later we could play a game of chess on the futon. See, I ain't got to get in your blouse. It's your eye contact that be getting me aroused. When you show me your mind and make me wanna show you mine. Reflecting my light when it shines. Just taking our time before the night's through. We could get physical too. I ain't trying to say I don't wanna, cause I do, but for me, boo, making love is just as much mental. I like to know what I'm getting into. See, we could have mindsets. We ain't got to take our clothes off yet. We could burn an incense and just chat, relax. I got the good vibration. Before we make love, let's have a good conversation. It's time for some mindsets. We ain't got to take our clothes off yet. We could burn an incense and just chat, relax. I got the good vibrations. Before we make love, let's have a good conversation. It's time for some mindsets. Yeah. What you know about mindsets?
African princess, tell me your interests. Wait, let me guess, boo, you probably like poetry. Here's a little something I jotted down in case I spotted you around. So let me take this opportunity. Would you share a moment with me over herbal tea? Take a walk verbally, make a bond certainly. Cause in my hand, I bet your hand fit perfectly. And it's like we floating out in space when you flirting with me. Come on, a little foreplay don't hurt. Imagine my chest under this shirt. Yo, suddenly your skirt is like walking the hot sands and finding an oasis. Opposites attract, that's the basis. Sex is like the wind that separates the yin from the yang. The balance that means complete change. My aim is to touch you in a delicate spot. And once we get it started, I ain't trying to stop. But first we have mindsets.
We ain't got to take our clothes off yet. We could burn an incense and just chat, relax. I got the good vibrations. Before we make love, let's have a good conversation. It's time for some mindsets. We ain't got to take our clothes off yet. We could burn an incense and just chat, relax. I got the good vibrations. Before we make love, let's have a good conversation. Mindsets.
She smiles, I smile. She walks, no, she glides softly by me, changing night into day. She opens her mouth to speak, and soul sounds ring in my head. She speaks, and I want to dance to her rhythm. She moves ever so gently, increasing my desires. Desires to place my arms around her waist and hold and squeeze her to me. I want to melt into her body and discover the base of her warmth. Her beautiful black body that no human mind could ever conceive. She's love, she's truth, she's real as the stars that shine in the heavens, as real as the sun that bathes her body, as real as the moon that glows and the birds that sing and the rose that blossoms in spring, for she is that rose, and not just any rose. Oh, but a black rose. A black rose that stands taller and stronger than any other plant. A black rose that stands as creator of nations. A black rose that never loses her petals and blossoms all year round. Black rose, sweet rose, thornless rose, eternal rose. Please look my way. Please look my way.
Reef Radio, episode 2.
Yeah, I love that song though, man.
You know, man,
I love that album, but
it's a great album. That's one of my favorite albums of all time. Dead President, one of my favorite groups. Just like I said, it's just ridiculous. You know, they're talking about, you know, let's start with a fresh bed of lettuce and croutons, and let's play chess, and then like there's this creepy old guy at the end, like love and sex, and I don't know. It's just ridiculous. If I heard that song while I was trying to, you know, get in the mood or whatever, I think I would kick over the girl's chess set and get the fuck out of there. But, you know, like I said, it's ridiculous. I still say this segment should have been called, you know, not songs that ruin the mood, but songs about sex that aren't fucking sexy. You know what I mean? Because it's just there's nothing sexy.
But if that song came on, it would ruin your mood, right?
It would. I would probably start laughing.
It's
you know
song
what
by
I mean?
song basis. Wait till you hear my song.
Oh my god! And it's also like there was a skit on Dave Chappelle
I can't
about
wait to hear
having
Jay's
sex, having sex in like with your friends in the background, like on TV, or you know, we know Dead Prez, so it's like, you know, that you can't. I don't want to picture people I know talking about sex while I'm having sex. So shout out to Dead Prez though. I love those guys. There's good people. Let's Get Free is a classic. So all right,
cool. So
now the moment.
We're waiting on so we're waiting on J-Zone's call. So it should be any minute now. And,
okay.
I don't know, man. Like I'm excited. I got to tour with J-Zone. Well, it was really just one show, but it was a big show. It was All Tomorrow's Party Festival in England with Mr. Liff, and he was part of the show as you know, just to hype the party up and DJ.
Right.
And it was just such an honor to meet this guy. I know we talked about it last show, and I got a chance. You know, we both got a chance to read the book. So
yeah, the book is incredible. For those who have not read it or heard it, is called "Root for the Villain: A Celebration of Rap Bullshit and Failure." And it's available via Old Maid Entertainment. I believe it's on Amazon. We'll get into all that with him when he does call. But it's a great book for those who are, you know, in the indie rap game or the indie game in general. I think he really paints a picture that he tells a story that a lot of people have not told. And besides the book, he's also an incredible artist. You know, his albums are very, very, very incredibly well put together. They're incredibly entertaining. You know, he did something in hip hop that a lot of guys don't do, which is, you know, he talked honestly about his life and about who he is. And I think that that's something that, you know, to this day I rarely see. So.
All right, we're getting the call.
Yeah,
so
we're getting the call. Without further ado,
let's see how this works again.
Yes, sir. J-Zone.
Hello?
Live on Reef Radio.
Hello.
What up?
Yo. What's
Yo.
up?
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you on speakerphone because I already got one of these fucking cell phone tickets. I ain't gonna get enough.
Are they really sickening like that up there in New York, brother?
Oh, fucking yeah, man. I got one like a year ago.
Oh, that sucks, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome to Reef Radio, Mr. J-Zone.
Yeah, we're giving you the applause.
So, yo, what's up, man? How are you, brother?
Ain't nothing, man. How about yourself? I'm chilling, man.
We're good, man. Just enjoying this lovely Sunday. You know what I'm saying? We thank you so much for calling in, man. We really appreciate your time. Sorry we're running a little bit late. We thank you for being here, though.
All goody. Thanks for having me.
Word up, man. So for my first question, you know what I'm saying? Because I was just with my grandma the other day. How's Evil E, man?
She's crazy, man. She's a special breed, man. She's 89 going on 90. It makes sense about 12% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she hasn't had her teeth in about 50 years or so. And when she puts the teeth out, it's definitely on. You know, she looks kind of like Popeye. So, you know, Popeye and Miss Pac-Man it's crazy, man. Just to live that long, you know, story. And she remembers the past, like,
right.
Crazy, but she can't remember, like, I told her 5 minutes ago. So it's kind of like Eddie Murphy on his album. He was like, "What time is it, baby?" And yada yada. He for like 20 more seconds, asking what time it is. It's kind of like that.
Word, that's what's up, man. Like, does she know how much of a impact she has had on your music and stuff? Like, were you using her on album covers and, you know what I mean? Like, I assume the Old Maid logo is kind of based on her.
Yeah, she always asks me for royalties, though.
That's what's up, man. So you said she's...
She's like, I still ain't been paid. So she's frugal. So she comes from that generation where she's watching everything.
Yeah, man.
Yo, so Jay, man, we started off the show by playing the LL Cool J Brad Paisley song. And I know you tweeted or you said something about it via the internet, but what are your thoughts on that song, man?
Please.
What, accidental racist?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the song was terrible, but my thing is this: like, rappers do dumb shit all the time.
Right.
So I think people give rappers too much fucking credit. like it's a fucking rapper. Like, see, that's a walking on eggshells. Like, if you're talking about the responsibility of rappers to like uphold something, because we had the Chuck E's and Harris's, guys like that who actually like had something to say and were kind of like for a generation.
Right.
But you have to, Soulja Boy talking about Slave Masters, Lil Wayne says Emmett Till, Rick Ross, these are fucking rappers.
Yeah.
Stupid. These guys don't know shit. So, we give them too much credit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even the rappers that become entrepreneurs, like, they might have business sense, but that doesn't mean they're, like, common sense smart. Most successful, like, might lack common sense. Not everybody's all around smart. Most smart people lack common sense. Somebody might be an entrepreneur and an artist in their way, but you're not looking to them for, like, a valid... You're not looking at them to make any sense on politics. So I just think we give guys too much credit. A lot of these guys are dumb. They get out of they get out of high school, they have a talent, they never have to have no personality to get laid. I'm not going to sit up here and say what he said, because he said some pretty stupid stuff in the song, but I still love LL. Still one of my favorite rappers.
Oh, by far, he's one of the greatest of all time. Yeah, you can't take that away from him.
I don't care what anybody says. LL is the greatest of all time. G-Rap is my personal favorite from a rapping standpoint, but LL is a complete package.
Right.
He'll still kill people in a battle, but he's got the sympathy, he can entertain.
Mm-hmm.
So LL is the greatest of all time, and song doesn't change my opinion of him. LL is also public, but who gives us Stacey Dash? Everybody was in uproar. We found out that bitch is a Republican. I'm getting ready to jerk off Stacey Dash. I'm not thinking about whether that bitch is a jackass or an elephant.
Absolutely not. None of that matters.
Yeah, it don't matter when you're getting that work. I don't give a fuck what political party that bitch is in.
Right.
So I just think we give them too much credit, expect too much from these guys. A lot of rappers are not smart, and they have opinions that are way out, and we might not agree, but they're artists.
Right.
They're not political either. So
Jay, you're cutting off in and out. Are you you're driving right now?
Yeah. I'm actually on the way to the store, so I'm driving. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll keep going with it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll figure it out. So you mentioned the Rick Ross joint. What is your thoughts on that, man? Everyone's up in arms about it, but obviously I've read your book and seen your tweets, and you're a big fan of just the most ignorant, rap niggas that ever existed. Is this something that a few years ago anyone would have even blinked their eyes at? It's just we grew up with some of the most fucked up rappers saying the most horrible shit. You know what I mean?
This is my theory on that. I still cutting out, by the way?
A little bit. We'll make it work, man.
We'll make it work.
We're just happy for your time, bro. You know what I mean?
Okay, because I'm about to pull over soon, so maybe when I get off speak.
Yeah,
all right, word, cool. No worries.
Yeah, keep it going.
But I think with the Rick Ross thing, I'm not going to sit up there. What he said was stupid, but I think the fact that people think he sucks has more to do with the uproar.
Right.
Because talent, do a pass for a lot of shit. All that crazy shit Eminem said, it's damn, ignorant, but he's so talented. Same thing with Biggie. Biggie said a lot of wild,
Yeah.
But, I remember Willie D said, play them games with bitch and I'll rape you. Bush Bill had a song about raping a corpse,
right.
Kill a bitch and rape the corpse. Everybody loves the Bill boys.
Yeah.
So they gave it a pass, but like Rick Ross, because of his persona and gangster, and don't like his. I'm not like I said, I'm not, what he said wasn't stupid, but I'm saying the fact that and comes down to even like the Mac Miller laws and that. People just hate Mac Miller.
That's true.
But rappers have been doing mixtapes since the beginning of time, rapping over shit, back and shit, getting paid for it, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
His career was made off that, and people love this.
Right.
It's
basically like the same as like if a handsome guy is trying to talk to a girl and an ugly guy's trying to talk to her. The handsome guy, it's okay what he's saying.
Yeah, you got a handsome dude and an ugly dude talking to a girl, and she rejects them both. But the handsome dude slaps the shit out of her. And so what? If ugly slaps the shit out of her, he's going to jail.
He's going to jail right away.
So I think the fact that people don't like Rick Ross as it is, like people think he's whack, it's like hip-hop is very hypocritical.
Yeah. It wasn't always like that, dude. What do you think has changed so much that has made everyone so sensitive and up in arms about stuff? Because like I said, growing up, this line that he said would not have been even something someone would blink at. Like, oh, yeah, he's going to date rape the bitch. Oh, well,
Nah, I mean, nobody ever took Cauze Raptor's hat or stick a bitch neck or hey, Mr. Mister.
Right.
And he's talking about beating the bitch to make a test. like, hey, Mr. Mister. It's crazy as fuck I've ever heard. Like, it never came out publicly, like a lot of people don't know about it. But if you go to YouTube, I think that mad thumbs up.
Right.
He's talking about smoking bitch's head in the mirror. And he said, beat the bitch down one more time. Then I said, fuck it. Slap the bitch one more time, pull out my dick and made her suck it. Then I'm ramming my dick back in her head trying to...
Wow.
I'm down her throat. I beat her in the tits, the bitch for trying to steal my cash. So don't interrupt me when I'm supposed to my bitch ass.
Wow.
But Cauze Rap is like one of the greatest rappers of all time. So nobody says it.
Right.
And it's like, it's mad hypocritical. Like, that's how hip-hop is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you're talented, you get a pass. And it's like, even back then when the whack motherfucker said shit, it was just like for instance, like there's a lot less tolerance for homophobia.
Mm-hmm.
It's anything. Like even back then, rappers would say, loosely use the word, and they didn't even anyway today. It's funk. But if you say that now, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you get.
I don't know if the echo's going to stop now because I just got on regular phone.
Yo,
it sounds so much. Yeah, it's perfect now.
Yeah, all right, but it's cool. I just think it's a different time. Like I heard somewhere that now when you say the word retarded, they call it the R word because retarded is a slur. Like
yeah,
it's just crazy. Like everybody has sensitivity to the stuff that wasn't there. Like. We were growing up, I mean, people said all kinds of crazy shit on records, and when you're raised on that kind of music and you start making music, you come from that school, but then you're like offending people, like when I would do records, 10, 12 years ago,
mm-hmm.
I'm being inspired by Sugar Free and fucking Ghetto Boys and Poison Clan and...
Yeah.
Two Live Crew and all that shit we grew up listening to, and me, like, I'm doing that shit, joking around, and then people are, like, getting offended at shows, and I'm like, damn, what were these people listening to?
Right. And I actually wanted to ask you about that, man, because, your musical taste, like, there was so, like, outside of the region, like, most New York, Philly, East Coast niggas, it was always, Wu-Tang boom bap nonsense, but you seem to always really shout out the guys that like Sugar Free and Two Live Crew and groups like that. What made you fuck with them so much, man? Because like I said, that's not normal for an East Coast guy to like that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like we weren't supposed to, rather,
Yeah, it wasn't cool, because all my boys would say, turn that whack shit off when I would play it. But I think the reason I like that was because when I was younger, my folks had all them Dolomite records
right
in the crib. So when I would come home from school, I was a latchkey kid, man. Like, you know, I mean, I was, you know, broken home, only child, you know, like.
Yep.
But you come home, you know, your imagination runs wild. You start going through the records that are in the house. And when I was maybe like 12 or 13, I discovered Dolomite. And I would be listening to that shit like, yo. And then when I got into hip-hop, I started hearing it in the samples. But besides Big Daddy Kane, nobody from New York was really embracing that shit. But when you turned on all those Skywalker records, shit like Poison Clan, 2 Live Crew, Disco Rick, they were sampling that black comedy shit real heavy.
Right.
So, you know, like, even to me, it was all joking. Like, I didn't take it serious. I just took of it, I thought of it as, like, comedy.
Entertainment. It
Like,
was just entertainment.
it was, like, misogynist, but it was comedy. So I always, like, liked that shit. But in New York, it was never, they were never on that black comedy shit. It was always like, shit is real, we ain't got no money, or, hey, let's go in the club. It wasn't like... It wasn't like me and the boys sitting outside the chicken shack playing the dozens talking about bitches. Like, but that's what a lot of that regional shit was like.
Right.
And to me, that was like, yo, this reminds me of black comedy joints. And, you know, that shit really wasn't part of the New York shit.
Right.
You know, like.
Right. So you basically just created your own sound using that stuff. Do you feel like now that people in the East Coast and stuff are down with all that type of stuff with the gentrification, you know, the hipsters listening to trap music and all that other stuff, do you ever feel like, damn, like, where were these people at 10 years ago when I was doing this, when I was showing up rocking mink coats and shit like that? Or do you just look at it as just as how the time rolls?
No, that's how the time rolls, because I did a show in Williamsburg in 2003, and I came out with the fur coat, and me and my boy Dick Stallion we covered Big Timers, Get Your Roll On, and they had hipsters in the crowd like me mugging us.
Right.
So I think somewhere along the line, I think it was around the time Dipset got popular. All of a sudden, it became about irony. Because we were doing that shit pre-irony. You know, so then, you know, all of a sudden you had like hipsters in like the tie-dye tight shirts, but they'd be listening to Jules Santana. Like, I think it was like almost like a mockery. It was almost like insulting, because like they would never hang around people like that.
Right.
They would never go to areas where people like that live, but they would kind of like listen to it in the comfort of their own enclave and go around and sport that aesthetic, but they would never really. Because me, I live in an area where kids try to be like that.
Right.
So, you know, I was always into that shit, you know, as a joke, but I also understood what it was rooted in, and I made sure when I did it that people knew that I was kidding, you know, like I wasn't like on no trap or die shit. Like I did it as parody. But, you know, it wasn't like part of my lifestyle. Like I wasn't going around trying to dress like that or nothing. It was just kind of like, you know, I'm kind of like, you know, we all have guilty pleasures, you know, but I just think at the time I was doing all that crazy shit, it was before the irony. So I think a lot of people were like, kind of didn't know how to handle it. I think the major problem is most people never knew if I was serious or kidding.
Right.
That was it. Like, because I was half and half. You know, I was joking around, but then part of me was like, you know, part of me meant what I was saying, but then it was like, you know, I don't mean it to this degree.
Right.
You know, like I'm going to be, you know, extreme with it and have a little fun and try to make light of it. But, you know, the root of it was like, damn, I feel this way, but, you know, I'm going to try to like go over the top and have some fun. So I think the fact that people didn't know, you know, they had no way of knowing, like, damn, is he serious or not? Like they kind of listened to it. You know, they were hesitant about it and on the fence, and it's hard to enjoy music when you're like on the fence about it. Like instead of just enjoying it, they were trying to see where I was coming from.
Right. Well, you touched on you touched on that in the book. You talked about the boxes. You know, the idea that you know, if you do this, you can't do that. You know, you have to stay on your lane or whatever else. Do you now that it feels like that box is kind of gone in hip hop? No, or do you think it's still there?
I think it's starting to. I think it disappeared. Like I'm looking at it now, and it's like, being uncategorizable is kind of cool now.
Right.
But when I was doing that shit, that was the worst thing you could be, was like, you know, no category, because it trickled down to your ability to get shows.
Right.
You know, like back then, I mean, you know how it was, like, you know, with Philly, I mean, people were loosely associated with JMT, so when Vinny goes on tour, Outer Space goes on tour.
Right.
You know, like,
Right.
they kind of trickled down and they were connected to the demigods. So App would go on tour, Self would go on tour, Motive would go on tour.
It's like
So,
you
you know,
talking about
everybody
that-
was
that
kind of
collective.
connected.
Right, right.
But when you were in like this weird little niche, it's like, okay, you know, he's too quirky and weird, and he's rapping about jerking off, so we can't have him open up for Saigon. But then he's calling girls bitches and hoes, so we can't have him open up for Talib Kweli.
Right.
So who does he perform for?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. He's got to headline his own show, and I wasn't big enough to be a headliner, so I would be doing shows with 10 people there.
Yeah.
You know, like, so there was really no place to stick me. Like, I had like beats with samples and all some quirky Prince Paul kind of shit, but I'm up there rapping on some Sugar Free shit.
Right.
So it's like there was nowhere to stick it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was. You know, and at that point, it's like if you don't have enough of a, but nowadays you can kind of get a following on your own. Like back then, and I think social media destroyed the group concept. Back then, it was about safety in numbers. Like you had to be part of a clique,
Right.
or like a team or a crew. So, you know, if you don't make it out in this year, you could be featured on these three guys' album and keep your name out and tour with them. Like, if I didn't make a J-Zone album, I was invisible.
Right.
So that's why every year I had an album.
Right. It was all on you.
Like, I had to.
Right. It was all on you. Did when you did the Old Maid Billionaires and things, I know I read in the book that you guys really, kind of went your separate ways, but when you were doing that, did you feel that, like that sense of like, having those guys with you made it a little bit easier for you?
Hell yeah.
Word.
You know, like, we were style-wise, we were all apples, oranges, and peaches. You know, like, we were all over the place, but
it worked though. I felt like it flowed very well.
It worked. It was like James Brown. Like, he couldn't read a lick of music, but when he got on the organ, he made it funky. So it was like, that's how it worked. And it was like, okay, J-Zone's this comedian, this joker. We don't know how to take him serious, but he's got beats and he makes shit funny. But then the hard heads in the crowd who were on some tough guy shit, Al Sheed would come out and they'd be like, all right, he's got a dude with him that gets on that goon shit. And then people who are like wanted a little depth, like Hug could go real deep.
Right.
So it was like we had all the bases covered, and when those dudes when they went their separate ways, it was like I started making like basically Skillet and Leroy records. Like it became like comedy albums.
Right.
And comedy rap is like a niche that's really hard to push, but when you had Sheed there, you had two joints that were like street.
Right.
And then you had Hug there, like all the guys who were into like the conspiracy theory stuff and into like, picking things apart that we don't normally look at and like just thinking man shit, but entertaining.
Right.
Like Hug had that covered. And we could, they could kind of come into my field a little bit, and they were more versatile than I was.
Yeah.
As MCs, like Hug and Sheed were like true. I was a certain kind of thing, but Hug and Sheed were all around MCs, so they could cover all the bases. And I think with all of us together, it worked. And when they went their separate ways, it was like there was nobody there to keep me in check. Like, nah, you can't have 3 songs in a row about a 300-pound girl on the bikini. You can't do that.
Right.
Like there was nobody there keeping me in check.
Right. So what really went down, man? Because you didn't really touch on it on the book. You just kind of said, when y'all separated, and I respect it if you don't want to get into it. But was it ego, money? Like what made y'all? Because I really enjoyed y'all stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It was just, the thing is, our whole thing happened accidentally.
Right.
Because Music for Tu Madre, my first album, I was in college, music major, and I finished the album, and I just wanted to produce. I wasn't going to rhyme at all.
Okay.
And I had rappers that were supposed to come to the studio and get on the beats, and they weren't showing up.
Mm-hmm.
So I started rhyming on it, but the only rappers that came through were Sheed, because I went to school with Sheed, and Hug was good friends with my boy Double A at Purchase, and he and Double A had a group, but when Hug would come around, I would play him beats, and I was like, yo, this kid is nice.
Word.
But the thing is, like, when the album came out, we started getting calls for shows.
Mm-hmm.
There was more demand for more music. And we never really sat down and had a meeting and said, yo, we're a group. It's not like we were childhood friends.
Right.
We got into this together. Like, we were just music. It was just happened so accidentally and spur of the moment that, you know, it just took off, you know, and it was like.
You guys had majors hollering at you, right? Atlantic, I think you said?
Yeah, we had Atlantic, you know. We had people interested, but it was like, you know, and then also what happened was, because it happened that way, like, you forget, like, Hug and Sheed also had their own agendas prior to us working. So they started doing this shit with me because that was the shit that was taking off the most. Like, it was having the most success. But, you know, we're all grown men at that point, and we want to, like, you don't want to come up under anybody's shadow.
Right.
So, you know, like, people would review the record and be like, yo, the beat's this, the beat's that. And, you know, like, they just didn't want to be in the shadow of that. You know what I'm saying? And I respected that.
Yeah.
They wanted to build their own things. You know, so, like, they went off and they did their own thing.
Word. That's
you know, like.
Yo, Jay. First of all, it's tax season, and I've been listening to Pimps Don't Pay Taxes all week long. I've been listening to that shit all week long, man. just to get my spirits up, because I got my ass kicked with that shit. But yeah, I want to ask you, man, like the whole book venture, man, like, how's it been for you? Is it exciting? I know the book's been out for a little bit now, but are you going to write another book? Was it a great experience? Are you doing well with the book? We love the book, man.
Yeah,
I read that in 3 days.
Better than most of my music did.
Word.
Yeah.
I'd like to write another book, but I learned writing the book that it's something that you can't sit down and say, I'm going to write a book. Like, it kind of has to happen on its own.
Yeah.
You know, because when I used to write for Dante Ross, like, 4 years ago, he was like, you got to write a book. And I was like, yeah, no doubt. But then I had no idea how to put together, you know, I didn't.
The different writing process.
I was like, all right, yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah.
And then one day in 2010, I just woke up. It was kind of like albums. Like, you see a skeleton. Like, you see different articles you've written or ideas you have, and you start to see them form into one cohesive project. Like, I'm working on a short album right now. If you spoke to me 2 months ago, I would tell you, hell no, I ain't making no music.
Right.
But I woke up one day, I had a bunch of ideas, I drafted them out, and I was like, all right, I see a track list. Mm-hmm. And every album I did, every book I did, it was like I literally woke up one day, got a bunch of ideas, and said, could I make a full length out of this? And I would sit down and be like, yeah, okay. And then once you see the skeleton start to form,
right,
then you just fill in the gaps.
That's true.
So everything I've ever done, I've never planned it. Every album was by accident. The book was by accident. Everything was like I was just doing my everyday shit, and then I just got ideas. So it was never like, yo, I'm going to make an album here, a book here. You know, it was like I wake up one day and it happens.
What's the best way for listeners, like, to get the book to benefit yourself? Like, what's the best way to buy the book?
I would have said getting it from my website, govillandgo.com, because that's where I make the most money off it. But, you know, the USPS just jacked up the rates crazy.
Oh, yeah, we've been dealing with that. We've been sending our own stuff out, and it kills us.
It's disgusting, man.
And I had to raise shipping.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, if you did it for me, like, you wind up paying, like, you know, $18 if you're in the States, and you wind up paying, like, damn near $30 if you're in Europe, and it's like,
yeah, but you personalize
better off
it.
getting it from it's cheaper to get it from Amazon. I make less money, but I'm gonna be honest, like, the shipping is crazy.
Those aren't autographed though. My buddy Skipmo, DJ Skipmo from Ill Vibe Collective, he's the one who turned me on to the book. You autographed it for him and sent it to him.
Yeah, because he ordered it from my site. If you get it from my site, it's autographed.
Well, yeah, well, it's worth the extra dollars then.
Yeah, I mean, if you know, if you want to deal with all the shipping,
you get a personalized
but I know
copy.
times is rough, like $11 versus $18. You know,
Overnight it turned into we Reef the Lost Cause is Dead is what we just put out, and overnight the shipping went up double.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ridiculous.
speaking of that project, man, I wanted to touch base with you because, like, you know, the book hit home really, really close to me, man, because, you know, obviously, Zone, I've been around, you know, I've been putting out music for like 10 years, and there was a part where you talked about, you know, being on that stage and looking out into an empty crowd, you know, going to the studio, going down to your basement and cutting the lights on and then not even wanting to record or write or do anything. Like, that moment, can you describe that for us? Because for me and a lot of my peers, man, you know, we're at that, I'm at that crossroad personally, you know what I'm saying, where I look at this shit every day and I don't know if I can keep it up. Like, what would you tell someone like myself or other artists that have been around for a while, you know, they hit that wall kinda, and, you know, it's how do you know when it's just time to just let it go? You know what I'm saying?
Well, when you don't have the passion, you back off from it, and if it's meant to come back, it'll come back.
Right.
You know, like, a lot, because, you know, I said it in the book, like, yo, this is your job, yo, this is what you do, go down, force yourself to make a beat.
Right.
I remember once I read an interview with Jay Dilla, he was like, I'll be in a slump, I'll just be like, nah, fuck that, let's go downstairs and I'll make something. But with me, like, I gotta be into it.
Right. You gotta feel it.
You know, like, I'm working on a record right now, and I never, ever thought I'd be able to find that creative juice. But it's like what I had to do was walk away from it, and then it just found me.
Word.
You know, like,
word.
Sometimes you just can't force it, and if it's meant to come back, it'll come back. You know, I was talking to Superstition.
Word.
And he went through the same shit. He stopped, and then he came back, and he's just doing it on his terms, and that's where I am. But with a lot of with me doing it, this isn't the reason why I did it. I did it because I have passion, but I went out there into the real world and got destroyed.
Right.
So it was like I was trying to get a 9 to 5.
Yeah. I'm so fucking scared of that, man. I'm so scared of that
and
moment,
it was like,
dog.
And it was like, you realize that you may not be rapping on stage. You definitely won't be rapping on stage for the rest of your life. But I realize that I'm a creative person, and I have to find ways to make it work. Because just like we get into business and politics and not being part of a crew, like all that shit we were talking about before, like how all that has an effect on you, the working world is the same way.
Right.
You know, like I'm in there working in the school. You know, I'm working 8-hour days, 2 hours of commuting, and after taxes and expenses, I'm coming home with $50 a day.
Yeah.
For a job they told me I'm overqualified for, but then I couldn't get benefits and you know, salary. You know, the woman I replaced had benefits and salary. She retired. I was in there doing a better job than she was. I was overqualified, but then they said, you have to take the civil service exam. And I was like, there's a whole bunch of people in this district that never took the civil service exam, but they're part of the local church. And the church and the school district were connected.
Right.
So I was like, damn, that's like somebody getting a deal with Def Jam because the A&R is his cousin.
Exactly.
Like, it's no different. Like, people say, the music business is fucked up. You're damn right it's fucked up. But the working world is just as fucked up.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm sitting there trying to work my way up, quote unquote. And, you know, I'm there for 7 months. I'm losing money going to work. I'm busting my ass. I'm trying to, like, make a good impression. And, you know, at the end of it all they could tell me was sorry.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, damn. And then I'm like, well, when is the civil service exam? They're like, 2012. And this is 2010.
So you had to wait 2 years.
So I had to make $50 a day for 2 more years to be eligible to take the test to compete against people who were in the church already who didn't take the civil service exam and maybe not get the job.
Right.
And I was like, damn. And then I worked in sales, and, you know, I got somebody 22 years old telling me what to do, and I'm trying to work my way up there. And, you know, I just hit a glass ceiling. Like, I couldn't get ahead. And I was like, it sounds ignorant, but I was like, yo, the 9 to 5 shit, like, you know, like, because you have people like, oh, yeah, now you got to see what it's like competing in the real world. And I'm like, yeah, I agree, but then you're also competing with people who've been working since they were 20, 21. So when they're 33, 34 and applying for the job, they have a resume with tangible real world experience.
Exactly.
I'm stepping up there like, yo, I ran my own business. I traveled the world. I taught at a university. But yeah, have you ever worked a 9-to-5 job, a real job? Because in that world, they don't respect that shit.
Yeah, and that's so funny to me because I've always thought that the game that we're in is way more stressful and it would teach you more about life than any 9-to-5. 9-to-5 is basically school part three.
You have to be goal driven because like every day every morning, me, you, all of us, we wake up and we're like, yo, if I don't do something right now, I'm not making no money.
I ain't gonna eat. Yep.
So every single day, okay, yeah, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, if I want to go shoot hoops at the park, I have that freedom. Somebody with a day job doesn't. But I'm still responsible for making some money. Now, like somebody with a regular 9-to-5, they can wake up every day and, yeah, they go to work while we can do what we want with our schedule. But the bottom line is they always have that check. They have the guarantee. They have the benefits. I pay my own health insurance.
Yeah,
so I would think, that would show something about your gumption, like the fact that you'll take the bull by the horns and take that risk to be a go-getter. But in that world, I realized that my experience meant nothing, and maybe it would mean something if I went to some other place. But the bottom line is it's like the music business. You have to know somebody. To get a job, the resume is whatever. Fuck Monster, all that LinkedIn shit. You got to know somebody.
Always got to know somebody.
You got to know somebody. Just like music. Like, it's like somebody be like, oh, Jay, just go down to a temp agency and get a job. That's like telling somebody who's a secretary at 35 years old, like, yo, make a demo, set up a Facebook page, and get in the music game.
Right.
Like they wouldn't know how to start.
Right.
We know, like, okay, you make this, you send it to this guy with this blog, or you try to get it sent to this website, or you do, like we follow the protocol as it changes. The rules have changed, but we try to stay on top of ways to get out. With the book, like,
right.
I didn't know nothing about promoting no book, so I promoted the book like I would promote a record, and then eventually word of mouth took over, but I know how to do that because that's my lane. So if you take somebody who works at Bank of America and tell them, yo, publish a book and get it out, they'd be like, huh?
Right. Yeah. Where do I do that? Because they have their whole shit set up. They go to their work. They have their job. They take their lunch at 1 o'clock.
What I'm saying is our world and that world, neither one is better than the other. Neither one is more respectable than the other. Like, they both have perks and drawbacks.
Right.
But the thing is, when you try to make that switch, a lot of musicians and artists, the golden time to make the switch is in your late 20s.
Yeah.
You have career changers all the time, but they basically, somebody might go from marketing to sales or, but they'll always, you look at their resume, they have traditional 9-to-5 experience. Like, I go to a deployment agency, they're like, what the fuck is Old Man Entertainment?
Right.
Like, oh, you own that? Oh, for all we know, that could have been a front for a drug operation ring. You know what I'm saying?
They just want to see a list of jobs. That's all.
Yeah. And the only thing on there that's tangible is when I taught at the university and the 2 little bullshit jobs I had 2 years ago, but I was only there for 6 months because I was losing money. I had to quit.
Right.
Bullshit, yeah.
Right.
So, like, when the music shit hit a brick wall and it went south, like, I accepted it. Like, that wasn't the hard part. The hardest part was trying to assimilate into the real world and realizing that I was way behind and I had no connections.
Right.
And I couldn't get in. I couldn't afford to go back to grad school. Like, that was the hardest part.
Yeah.
Like knowing that I got to find a way to make this work because, going the traditional route at this point, like, I have no idea how to do it.
Yeah.
And so that was harder than the music thing, you know, not meeting the expectations or records not selling or having to destroy. The hardest part was to like regroup and try to go into a world where you're a foreigner and your past isn't really respected and you know nobody. Like you have no connection.
Starting from scratch. And I think that's
starting from scratch.
That's the thing that I really, you know, took from the book, man, was the fact that, you know, there's this idea out here, dog, that it's the saying hard work pays off. No, the fuck it doesn't all the time. You know what I'm saying? And like people don't seem to understand. Like you made a point. You were saying, you know, the stars need to be aligned. Everything has to work out for you to get to that point. And for me, it hurts my soul because I know how much work me and Todd and other people have put in, and you still don't see the results at the end of that. I feel like that's the hardest part for a lot of artists to accept, is that it's not going to change. You know what I'm saying? So for you to at least accept that and move forward, that right there is the biggest accomplishment, because a lot of cats, you know, they can't do that. They can't accept that this is as good as it's going to get. You know what I'm saying? Chasing niggas around for collab money.
Take a good look at the middle, because that might be all you see.
Yep.
You know, like.
Yep.
And now when I make music, I look at it realistically.
Right.
You know? So like when Rick Ross blows the fuck up, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Because regardless of who's on top of the charts, I have a set audience and a set fan base.
Right.
And if I reach them, that's fine. And, you know, the rest of it is trying to find a way to make a living using all of your talents to their potential. But it's like, that's the reason why I wrote the book. Because, you know, people, all you hear is like, yo, it was hard in the beginning. I struggled, but I made it. Like that same Rocky Balboa shit you hear all the time.
It's like that happens for everyone. There's no flip side to that, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, nobody ever came out and said, yo, I tried and it didn't reach that point and I had to start over.
Right.
You know, and like that happens to more artists than not. So, you know, I wanted to just show that, and, you know, I accepted that. But like I said, the hardest part was, like, trying to go into the alternate world and, like, being totally fucked up. You know, like, not making the money, not finding the security and the stability that's supposed to be there. You follow all the rules, you play the game, and then you realize it's just as dysfunctional as the music business.
If not more. Because I remember when I had a 9-to-5, man, and, like, I left. And, you know, looking back on it, that was a big mistake. I wish I could still have that motherfucker, because that direct deposit was lovely. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, the power structure and things like that, there was no difference to me between an executive, a boss or whatever, than a label head. It's all about power. It's all about keeping you down. It's all about trying to make you feel like you're beneath me and you'll do whatever I need you to do to make this money. You know, either way, you're getting pimped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no matter what. You know, you're up against that, and I tried to play that game, and I basically had to make a decision. You know, like I'm sitting there sending out 50 resumes a day and staying on all the job boards and asking people for help, and, you know, and in the meantime, I'm just hustling music on the side, and I'm like, I'm making more money doing that shit. Like, and it's fucked up, because if you're a Generation Xer, you know, you have to adapt. It's not like our parents, where they had affirmative action or they had the pensions and the benefits. I mean, things are kind of changing.
I mean, dog, it's people out here
until we die.
Right.
You know,
it's people out here with PhDs that can't get, you know, desk work. You know what I'm saying?
That
like
substitute teaching
and it's like a lot of people are hiding out. I mean, I'll never knock somebody for furthering their education and getting more knowledge.
Yeah, word.
But a lot of people are going to school to hide.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, maybe we can wait till this recession, they call it, or whatever, blows over. The recession itself, you know, they say it's over, but it's like that has nothing to do with employment. You know, that just means the rich people are spending more again.
Right.
But, you know, motherfuckers I know who were broke are still broke.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like a lot of people. And I knew some girl was like, she had like some real crazy master she was going for that had no job prospects. And I'm like, well, why are you doing that? She was like, I can't find a job. And I'm like, okay, you know, if you want to get a job, then you have to go into the medical field, because that's growing.
Yeah.
But you start looking at like there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
Like no matter what you do, there's no guarantee.
Yeah. My baby sister, she's 25. She's a nurse in Atlanta, man. She makes bank, nigga, like bank. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like sitting here, like, you know what I mean? Because she went into that field. You know what I'm saying? Nursing, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like recession-proof jobs, my grandfather would always say, you running around doing this rap stuff, but you need to find recession-proof employment. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard, man. Like you said, a lot of these guys, they don't know the difference. This is all they know. So if your whole life you used to rocking stages, getting money, and you have this identity, my identity is so caught up in who I am as a rapper that I often am trying to find myself as a man, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Yeah, I went to the same thing because now you're on the job and discussion becomes what's your hobby, and it's like, yeah, I was a recording artist and I traveled and I performed with C-Roll and like, C-Roll?
Right.
What was your name? J-Zone. I never heard of you.
Right.
Dude, that
so
part,
it's like, but it's like, they have to like look you up and validate it and shit.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, you used to do this and that. Well, why are you here?
Yeah, why are
And
you
then you
here?
have to
That's the
explain-
question, man. That's the $1 million question.
Like, why are you here? And it's like, I'm trying to work my way up. My boss is 10 years younger.
Yeah.
He does. He got the job because his uncle runs the company.
Mm-hmm.
He has an associate's degree. I have a bachelor's. It doesn't mean shit.
Right.
So, like, I just got really frustrated and, I'm probably not making the wisest decisions with my life right now because I'm kind of like ignoring reality and
Yeah.
and
Fuck that,
doing what
man.
I
Yo.
enjoy.
Reality fucking sucks, man. We all gotta ignore
I'm
that
glad-
shit, man.
I'm
I'm
glad
holding
It's
on to
like,
this
I'm
rap
sitting
shit.
up here and,
Right. Fuck that.
and it's like, but it's like, as you get older, you feel the walls closing in. And the project I'm working on now deals a lot with that.
Yes.
Like,
I'm glad to hear that you're
damn,
making
like,
something.
Talk
man.
to us about that, man. What's good with this? With this record, man? What's up with that?
well, I decided to do like a long EP short album. I mean, half of it is like instrumental stuff. I started learning how to play drums like a year and a half ago, and learning the drums is actually what inspired me to make more music.
Word.
Because I'm sitting there learning to play drums, and I'm like, damn. When I was making beats, everything was about 87 beats a minute, finding a bugged out sample, and I'm like, I want to make some 115 BPM shit with some crazy drums. So then, you listen to all your old shit like, yo, I just want to smash that shit. I want to outdo it. So, when you're learning to play drums, you listen to all these James Brown records and shit, and you're like, damn, I want to make some shit like that. So you start working, and then you start thinking about, concepts, and I wasn't planning a rhyme, but like a lot of the stuff I did in the book, I was like, this would make a good song. Like the shit about trying to get the job and going back into it.
Right.
So I'm working with my boy Cauze from Philly.
Shout out Hoslow.
How's low?
Yeah. So, me and him are working on a song kind of about that now, about all these get-rich-quick schemes.
Word. That's what's up.
that we were trying to plan out. And, it's just basically when you get on Facebook, this one's married, this one put 50 pictures of his newborn, this one got a promotion, this one got a raise, and you're like, damn, like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm still here trying to follow my dream because I got frustrated with trying to assimilate
Right.
into the working world.
Right.
That didn't work. So you just start looking around, like, and everybody's going in a direction, and, like, you're the only one. You're just sitting there like, damn, that bitch is 20 years old, but she's fucking fine. I'm going to go talk to her. You're like, damn, I'm 36. Like, what the fuck? Like, yo, she was born when I was listening to the Back the Fuck Up.
Yeah. But, I mean, Jay, don't you feel like a lot of those people, man, like those Facebook terrorists that post pictures every 3 seconds of their happy life aren't really that happy? They're just trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's an
think a lot
excuse.
of it is a facade. Like, I think a lot of them, like, misery loves company. So, I just feel like I'm accepting the fact that I'm part of a trailblazing generation, as are you guys.
Word.
Like, if you were born in Generation X, like, we don't have the stability our parents had, but a lot of the millennials don't have that view of reality that we have.
No.
So, while people look at me crazy for not having a family by this age and not being grandfathered into a traditional career and stuff. Like, I'm all, the realist in me is like, I can't afford to have a family.
Right.
And it's like, I know that I will be working to the day I die.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to retire.
Yeah. Yo, Jay.
So,
Yo, Jay, man. We're probably gonna have to wrap soon because it's we're on like 2 hours. But did you ever?
Okay.
I want to ask you a question, man. Did you ever consider doing a podcast yourself? Because I can listen to you talk all day, man.
Oh, I did the Gators and Furs mix show, but I never did a podcast.
You should do a podcast,
you should,
man.
You are the illest. Like,
I mean,
you can listen to you talk all day, literally. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so, yeah, I mean, I like to do one. I would need some help, though. I don't think Chief Chinchilla is serious enough to talk about this kind of shit.
Yo, you could if you had a podcast and like every once in a blue moon, your grandmom came in and said some stuff. Yo, man, that would be like so entertaining.
Yo, but real quick before we let you go, man, we were just talking about Facebook. That was one of my questions. The guy that was like threatening to kill you on Facebook, whatever happened with that? Is he still bothering you, man? Because that was one of the funniest stories in the book, man. The dude that like you hadn't talked to in like 12 years, and he was trying to like.
Yeah, I blocked him.
You blocked him, good.
The funny thing is, he was from a rap group that rap nerds would know, because they were on a major label in 1992.
Word.
I'm not gonna blow it up on the air.
Don't do that. Yeah, that's all good.
But I'll tell you in private who it was. It was a real group who had a deal on a major label in the early 90s. And if they weren't popular, but if you're like a hip hop nerd, you don't know who they are.
All right, we'll get it in private, man. We'll get it in private. Yo, we want to thank you so much for your time, brother.
For sure, man. And yo,
no doubt, man. When is it going live?
April 17th.
On Wednesday.
All right.
Yo, and also,
just shoot me the link.
Before you go, we were talking on the phone the other day, and you listened to the last show, and you were talking about this will segue into your song choice for the show.
Right.
You were saying about have you ever listened to your own music while getting busy? Mm-hmm. And you have?
Yes.
What? How could you do that, man? I can't. Yo, I would start cracking the fuck up, man. You finished and everything?
But she requested it, right?
Yeah, no. I went to go see this chick, and she had her iTunes open, and she was just playing some traditional R&B. But I think on purpose, because she was playing Marvin Gaye. Like, after Marvin Gaye, like, you might have, like, Nas or something if it's alphabetical. But Sick of Being Rich came on right after. Like, yo, that bitch made a playlist.
Wow.
And I was getting busy to my own album, and then after my album, Devin the Dude, Just Trying to Live came on.
Damn.
So she had a playlist, like, to go from M to J to D alphabetically.
Right. She did that on purpose.
That bitch,
it wasn't random.
Yeah, she did it on purpose.
That's what's up. So, yo, tell us about your song choice. This is songs that would fuck up the mood when you were trying to get busy. And you chose what?
I chose Ketchup on My Hot Dog by the Section 8 Mob from D.C. It's about fucking when the girl is on a period.
Oh my God. That's what's up, brother. Yo, that's what's up. We're going to play this now. Yo, thank you so much for your time, Jay.
No doubt, y'all.
And we got to keep in touch, man. You know what I mean? We got to definitely get you and Reef together on a song.
Yeah, man.
I'm with it, yo. I'm with it.
All right, that's what it is. So, yo, the new album, do you have a title yet or anything, or any idea? You're just still working on it, bare bones?
I have a tentative title. I don't want to blurt it out yet, but it has to do with what we were talking about, like being in your mid-30s and feeling like you're 20.
Right. Shit, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I can relate.
It'll be out summer or the fall. Like, I'll be done with it probably by June.
Word up. That's what's up. I just want to say, man, music-wise, your book, your writing, all your stuff, man, you're an inspiration to us. You're one of the reasons we're doing this podcast because, like I said, we really respect your mind and you give us hope for guys that, like I said, have been around for a while and just knowing that it's not the end if this rap shit don't pop the way it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't understand that there's life after this, and you showed that. So we really thank you and appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for checking it, no doubt.
No doubt, brother. All right, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, bro. Be good, man.
Yo, peace, man.
Peace.
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 That was J Zone, the one and only Reef Radio, Volume 2, Episode 2, rather.
Episode 2.
That was fucking awesome.
That was great. Sorry for the technical difficulties. It was some things that we were working out during that, but
But you know what?
it's still a good
If
listen.
you a real nigga like me, you a real dude like me and Todd, you'll listen to that shit anyway, and you'll get through it. It was only about three minutes of choppiness, and it got.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Right now, we're gonna play "Catch Up on My Hot Dog" by the Section 8 Mob.
Section 8.
And we'll be back right after
this guy knows so much obscure, like,
he's
hip-hop.
the man, dude. He's the man.
J Zone, thank you so much, man. Holler at him at J Zone. Don't tweet on Twitter. oldmainentertainment.com. Get that book. As soon as you can. Word up.
We'll be right back. Peace.
That motherfucking time of the month. But ain't shit switch, bitch, you know what I want. You're talking about your bleeding, yeah, well, I don't give a fuck. Just bring that ass over and let me catch a quick nut. I just wanna fuck, I never had been a lover. Pull off that pad and put them scabs on my rubber. Ooh, you gotta pay the price when you tax it. Fucking up sheet after sheet, and gotta flip my mattress back. My bitches seem to love it, but my niggas say I'm tripping. Pull out the red towel for when that blood starts to dripping. 3 minutes is the usual unless I start to lick. Now I'm coming up like I'm wearing lipstick. There's many in my league, but ain't no one up in my class. Cause I'ma get down and suck that tampon out your ass. I'm pulling on the string so you can get the thing. I'm a nasty, nasty, nasty ass nigga. I like this on my hot dog. Bitches always bleeding and shit. Just bend your ass over, bitch, and take this dick. You say you're bleeding, you're bloated, you're all cramped up. I got a pocket full of mine all and ready to fuck. Sometimes I fuck fast, sometimes I fuck slow. Sometimes I lick that ass, sometimes I suck your toes. I smell your dirty ass while you're giving me head. A nigga woke up, I'm 69 and in the red. You dirty, sleazy, slimy, slick, stank ass slut. Big daddy's about to bust nut, so where you want it, head or butt? Back and forth and back, yeah, that's what I like. Now play up around the rim, bitch, and be like Mike. This ain't go easy on the nipples, eat that tender, But you're fucking the beast, bitch. Or didn't you remember last time that we fucked? You told your girl I made love. So now wish your pussy freak is gon' get drugged. Running up in them drawers, slinging blood on the wall, bitch. Cause I like ketchup on my hot dog. I like ketchup when my dog's between them buns. I hits her from the back so I can see the blood run. Drip, drop, drip, nah, you can't control the flow. I pulls out the pipe so I can let the fluid go. Staining up the rug and it's seeping through the hardwood. All up in that ass is smelling bad, but it's feeling good. Gotta get the soap, wash, rag, and water ready. Black towel on the floor, legs up, rubber on, stroke steady. Damn, man, it must be the dog in me. But I tell you, I done seen more blood than a surgery. Ready-made scalpel for the stabbing. Tylenol 3 for the hoops, yeah, she cramping. I'm humping good, she's humping back, but I can outlast her. I think I got the fever for the flavor of some plasma. But sucking on the lollipop won't get your tongue as red. She's bleeding while I'm eating, when I'm eating is when she bled. I know that's some more crud bullshit that I said, but I don't give a fuck, cause I like ketchup on my hot dog, bitch.
Ketchup on my hot dog.
Ketchup on my hot dog. Wow.
Ketchup on my hot dog.
I've never heard this song before.
Yo,
and it might be. Is it your favorite?
It's my favorite song right now. Thank you, J Zone, for introducing me to Section 8 Mob. Ketchup on my hot dog.
Shout out to J Zone.
How
Great
do you think?
interview.
How does he think of these? Like
he's
he
a
knows
hip hop
he knows that
historian,
shit,
man. He knows all of it, ins and out. Much respect to J-Zone for calling in today. A great interview, brilliant mind, humble guy. Like I said, man, he has been in this game and he knows the ins and outs and the ups and downs of it, and he wrote a brilliant book detailing it. If you don't have it, make sure you get it. Root for the Villain, a celebration of rap failure and bullshit. oldmadeentertainment.com, or just Google him or whatever. You can hit him up on Twitter at J-Zone, don't tweet. Brilliant mind, ahead of his time. If you don't have his book, get the book, and also if you don't have his music, get his music. He has a collection of amazing work, you know?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So we're going to end the show. It's been long, but we can make it as long as we want.
That's right, and you can't do anything
and
about it.
You can listen to it, and you cannot listen to it, but please listen to it.
Please listen to it. Stick with us.
And again, if you have questions or need advice, reefradioshow@gmail.com. Be a part of the show. It'll help us, and it'll be great.
Yeah, and if you don't do it, we'll just make up.
Yeah, we'll make up questions.
We'll make up questions.
We don't
we'll
care.
take
We'll
your
do what we
name
want.
off Facebook and just, you know what I mean? So.
All right, so I'll get into my song right now.
Yeah.
This is definitely songs that would ruin the mood while getting busy.
Yes.
So here's my song.
Thank you guys for listening. Reef Radio, episode 2.
Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna fade this down because I prefer that song. Actually, that's actually my theme song.
In the sack?
For all the ladies out there listening.
Oh my
That's
God.
what we're gonna get into.
You chase them around?
Yeah, some Benny Hill, some montage, quickness. Oh, I can't.
God.
No, I shouldn't say that.
No, don't say you're quick. Don't say you're quick.
Anyway, again, thanks for listening to the show.
Yeah, play your real song now. Reef Radio, episode 2. Reef Radio, SoundCloud.com.
My real song's The Dead Kennedys, Too Drunk to Fuck.
I do a party, and it's all night. I had 16 beers and decided of a fight. When I'm chilling, you're out of luck. I'm rolling down the stairs, too drunk to fuck. I'm too drunk to fuck. You're too drunk to fuck. Too drunk to fuck. I'm too drunk to fuck. I like the stories. I love the gun. Shooting out the tires as I love the world of fun. Right in my room, wish you were dead. You fall like a baby in a razor head. I'm too drunk to fuck. I'm too drunk to fuck. Too drunk to fuck. It's all I need right now. Too drunk to fuck. I'm too drunk to fuck. I'm too drunk to fuck. Too drunk to fuck. I'm too stuck in the cold. Too drunk to fuck. I'm about to drop. My head's a mess. The only salvation is I'll never see you again. You're gonna have